Well, hello and welcome to my November One Simple Thing tip. So, if you've been following this year, I've been sharing one tip each month that I think can help just in a small way make your family happier and more connected and just more fun. So, you can look at all of the previous tips on my website, and I'll put a link in the comments on this post if you want to look back at some of the previous ones. But today I'm sharing the November One Simple Thing tip, and it is to opt outside. Or to go outside, in other words. So REI has an ongoing campaign. They close their stores on the Friday after Thanksgiving and encourage people to go outside, and they have so many cool resources of ideas of places you can go, and they have a hashtag that's opt outside that lots of people post photos of the things that they're doing outside. And I haven't talked about it in a while, and I want to just talk about how important it is that we all spend time outside. So next to unplugging, going outside is one of my favorite topics. As many of you know, I'm a summer camp director, so I'm just really privileged to get to spend the summer in a beautiful setting outdoors. And my job requires me to be out and about and walking around camp and sitting around campfires and kayaking and sailing and all these great outdoor things. So I really enjoy that time outside. And obviously, one of the reasons that I picked summer camp as my career was because I enjoy the outdoors and a lot of those recreational activities. But the rest of the year, the non-summer months, my life and my job are very similar to everybody else's, and I spend a lot of time in my car, on my computer. I have to be much more intentional about getting outside. And so now that it's a few months past summer and we're well into fall, I actually have had a really great October of getting outside more because I've started running again, which is something that I used to love to do, but I've really gotten out of the habit the past couple of years. I've been doing more just kind of walking on my treadmill that I have at home for convenience, but it's been so great to get outside and out on. We have some nice trails in our town, and I've been really enjoying getting outside. So I thought I'd share this month about just ideas for getting outside and some of the benefits of it, and why it's so important that we, as individuals and with our families, prioritize spending more time outside. So, probably some of you might be familiar with Richard Louv's book, The Last Child in the Woods, or The Nature Principle. Both of these books talk about how there are some real human costs to our alienation from the natural world. And we are all spending a lot less time outdoors, and that's resulting in some negative behavioral things in our kids and some lack of well-being for us as adults as well. So here are some of the benefits to getting outside, and then I'd love to hear or have you share in comments ways that you as a family get outside during these maybe cooler winter months with your family. What are some ideas that you have? What are activities that you guys like to do outside that make you feel better once you get out there? So one of the benefits and one of the compelling reasons, I'm going to go through 7 compelling reasons to encourage you to unplug and get outside this month. The first thing is that it provides some much needed stress relief. And in just for whatever it is, being outdoors in fresh air makes you feel more relaxed. I think somehow you take deeper breaths when the air is fresh, you're outside. The second thing is it gets you vitamin D from the sun, even if you have just a little bit of sun. Like I'm getting kind of more right now. The light changed since I set up here. We're all in a vitamin D deficit. I know when I got my blood work done for my physical, I was down on my vitamin D. So I started taking a vitamin D. I think I started taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin D. And then I got it tested again, and I was still low. So now I'm taking 2,000 milligrams of vitamin D. And I'm not sure if it's caused because we're using more sunscreen, which is a good thing to protect our skin. But we all need I think, some real feeling of that sun on our face. And there's nothing that feels better. If you need a little like refresher, stepping outside and just putting your face up to the sunshine for a moment is so good. So that's another benefit of getting outside, is that increase in vitamin D. The third thing is that being outside promotes better sleep. And so it's been shown that people who live near parks and natural green spaces are more likely to engage in more physical activity. So it may just be that when you're outside, you're encouraged to be more active, and even just that light exercise outside helps people sleep better. They also say that it's prolonged time outdoors helps align your body to the natural like day and nighttime things, which is strengthening the hormone signals, melatonin. And so instead of having this false light like from our computers all the time, having that time where you're outside during the day and then it's dark and you're inside at night is a good way to help regulate your sleep. Number 4 kind of relates to a previous one. It really does encourage more exercise. I know for me, walking on a treadmill, I just do not want to go for as long or as far as when I'm out on a nice trail with a friend or with my dog. So I just think when we're outside, we all will get more exercise. So, when people, they've just done some studies, and I'm going to put a link to a post that outlines links to all of this research and all these findings. But apparently they did a small study that tested cyclists pedaling in front of green, gray, and red images, and the people that were in front of green showed less mood disturbances and felt lower exertion. So just that green that's outside in nature is really good for exercising. Number 5, something that I think is really important, is it boosts brain health being outside. So apparently just looking at natural scenes out in nature activate the part of our brain associated with balance and happiness. So when we see things like mountains, forests, other landscapes, we have just some great brain responses. And it also can help our concentration skills. So there was a study that compared the concentration of children with ADHD who played outside versus those who played inside, both after school and on weekends. And the kids who spent more time in green outdoor spaces had fewer symptoms of ADHD. So when the exact same activities were compared. And so I know that just for kids too, just being outside and running around, even for 10 minutes, can provide just a much needed boost that they need to be able to concentrate more when they need to. Okay, number 6, another way that being outside is so beneficial is that it fosters our creativity and imagination. So there was some research published in the Journal of Adolescent Psychology that found that walking increases creative production. And I know for me, most of my kind of ideas or problem solving often occurs when I'm on a run or a walk. And I don't know if that's true for you, but I feel like that is so true that I think more clearly when I'm just outside walking around than when I'm like trying to stare at my computer or looking at a bunch of different distracting things. Finally, number 7 is that being outside promotes our happiness and a decrease in anxiety and depression, which is something that I think we all need at this point. So fresh air, sunshine, physical activity all encourage good moods and reduce our tendencies towards depression. So I think that there is no question that for our families to be happier and more connected, one simple thing that we can do is prioritize spending more time outside together. So this month, I'm sure your town has one too. One of the things that we do every Thanksgiving is there's a turkey trot in our town, and we go out there with all kinds of people. We're in Fresno, so if you happen to be around Fresno, you can join us at the turkey trot. But it's a 5K, which is 3.1 miles, and people walk it or run it or whatever. But it's been such a fun tradition, especially on the day that we end up usually eating too much pie later in the day. So to start Thanksgiving tradition with a turkey trot, or I know some people just make their own walks around their neighborhood, and that's a really fun idea as well. So that's one way to get outside. Any kind of exercise that you like to do, even if you just like to go for a walk with your family at some point during the day or on the weekend, or a hike, even if you're near any natural spaces. Many of us live a lot closer to really beautiful natural spaces than we even realize. I live in Clovis, which is near Fresno, and the Sierras are really close to us. And it's only a 45-minute drive to get up to pine trees and beautiful hiking trails. But a lot of people who live in this area don't really ever go to those places. So research hiking trails, biking trails, things that are near to where you live, and head out there on a Saturday with your family and just spend some time outdoors together. And I'm sure you would find that it's a really fun experience and it's really improves your well-being. So what other ideas? I don't know, for getting outside. I know that it can start getting cold in some places. For us, our weather is actually at its finest right now because the summers are so hot that it's actually really hard to be outside during the summer here. But right now in the fall, it's really pleasant. It's like the best time of year to be outside. But if you live in a colder place, I think that, all those outdoor winter sports are really fun, whether it's building a snowman or sledding or skiing or cross country skiing. All of those are great family kind of outdoor activities as well. So I'd love to hear your ideas of how you manage to get yourself and your family outside more this month. And I'd love to hear from you if you find that it's beneficial for you, or it's making your family feel happier or more connected. So thanks for listening to this month's One Simple Thing tip. I appreciate you being here. I would love to include you on my monthly email list, or actually, sorry, my weekly email. I send out an email each week with my most recent podcast episode and posts. And I also include links to interesting articles and things that I have come across that I think are of interest to parents and anyone else who works with young people. So you can subscribe to my emails at my website, which is sunshine-parenting.com. And the email subscription is on the homepage, so you can find that there. So I hope you enjoyed this One Simple Thing tip. I would love to hear from you if you utilize it and get your family outside this month. And I would love to see pictures too. And I'm sure REI would love to see their hashtag opt outside on any of your family's outside adventures this month. So have a great month, and thanks for listening. We'll be in touch soon.